Listen English. Leo harbored a silent dream, a fervent desire to communicate fluently in English. He imagined himself confidently conversing with people from across the globe, sharing ideas, and exploring new cultures. However, the path to achieving this dream seemed daunting and fraught with countless obstacles. He often felt overwhelmed by the sheer volume of grammar rules. He had tried various traditional methods, poring over textbooks filled with complex explanations and endless exercises. Yet, despite his diligent efforts, the words seemed to vanish from his mind the moment he tried to form a complete sentence. Frustration gnawed at him, making him question his own capability. How to learn English? This question echoed relentlessly in his mind, a persistent whisper that shadowed his daily life. He consumed countless articles and watched numerous videos, each promising a revolutionary shortcut to fluency. Still, tangible progress remained elusive, just beyond his grasp. He observed others effortlessly engaging in lively English conversations, their words flowing with ease and natural rhythm. This contrast often left him feeling inadequate, retreating further into his shell. He yearned for that same spontaneity, that uninhibited expression, but it felt miles away. One afternoon, while scrolling through educational content, a compelling title caught his eye: Why You Must Listen. Intrigued by its directness, Leo clicked on the video, unknowingly embarking on a transformative journey that would redefine his approach to language acquisition. This was a pivotal moment. The speaker explained the profound importance of immersing oneself in authentic English sounds. It wasn't just about understanding words, but about internalizing pronunciation, intonation, and rhythm. This concept resonated deeply with Leo, offering a fresh perspective on his previous struggles. He started small, dedicating 30 minutes each day to listen English. He chose podcasts, documentaries, and interviews, focusing initially on general comprehension rather than meticulous word-for-word translation. The initial phase felt like wading through a foggy landscape, challenging but promising. Gradually, patterns began to emerge from the cacophony of sounds. He noticed recurring phrases and common expressions. The more he listened, the more familiar the language became, slowly shedding its intimidating foreignness. His brain started to unconsciously connect sounds with meaning. The next critical step was listen and practice. The video emphasized active engagement, not passive reception. He was encouraged to shadow speakers, repeating sentences and phrases immediately after hearing them, mimicking their cadence and pronunciation as closely as possible. This practice felt incredibly awkward at first. His tongue stumbled over unfamiliar sounds, and his voice sounded strange and unnatural to his own ears. He felt self-conscious, even when practicing alone in his room, but the speaker's encouragement kept him going forward. He committed to practicing daily, regardless of how silly he felt. Over time, the awkwardness began to dissipate, replaced by a growing sense of control over his articulation. His mouth muscles started to adapt, making the sounds feel more natural, less forced. One particular video series focused on "Let's Talk in British English," appealing to Leo's fascination with its distinct charm and elegant pronunciation. He specifically sought out content from the UK, eager to master the nuances of that specific dialect. He immersed himself in BBC podcasts, British sitcoms, and interviews with UK personalities. This targeted listening helped him distinguish between different accents and intonations within British English, enriching his auditory comprehension immensely. It was a focused effort. He realized that simply listening wasn't enough. He needed to bridge the gap between comprehension and production. The question how to talk in English loomed large, demanding practical application of his newly acquired listening skills. He needed to speak more. Leo joined an online language exchange group, specifically seeking out native British English speakers. His first few conversations were nerve-wracking, his voice barely above a whisper, his thoughts jumbled and incoherent. It was a daunting challenge indeed. He stuttered and fumbled, often resorting to simple words or gestures. Yet, each interaction, no matter how clumsy, chipped away at his fear. The other members were patient and encouraging, understanding the difficulty of speaking a new language. He discovered that making mistakes was an essential part of the learning process, not something to be avoided. Every mispronounced word or grammatical error became a valuable lesson, a stepping stone towards greater fluency and accuracy. Parallel to his listening and speaking practice, Leo encountered another crucial piece of advice: why reading is important. He had previously neglected reading, focusing solely on auditory input and spoken output, but this new insight changed his perspective. He started reading English novels, articles, and even news reports. Reading exposed him to a wider range of vocabulary and complex sentence structures that he might not encounter frequently in casual conversations. It deepened his understanding. Reading also reinforced the vocabulary he was hearing. Seeing words in written form after hearing them spoken solidified their meaning and usage in his mind. It provided a visual anchor for the auditory information, making retention easier. He noticed a significant improvement in his overall English proficiency. His vocabulary expanded rapidly, and his ability to construct grammatically correct sentences became more intuitive. The act of reading strengthened his writing as well. Combining listen and practice with consistent reading proved to be a powerful synergy. The more he read, the better he understood spoken English, and the more he listened, the better he comprehended written texts. It was a virtuous cycle. His conversations became more fluid, his arguments more coherent. He could articulate complex ideas without stumbling, and he found himself participating actively in discussions, a far cry from his previous silent reluctance. Confidence soared within him. Friends and colleagues began to notice his remarkable transformation. They complimented his fluency and asked for his secret. Leo, once shy about his English, now eagerly shared his journey and the methods that had finally worked for him. He emphasized the importance of consistent daily exposure. You must listen every day, he would advise, even if it's just for 15 minutes. Consistency trumps intensity every single time. His advice was simple yet profound. Then, you must practice speaking, he continued. Find opportunities, any opportunities, to talk. Don't be afraid of making mistakes. They are your best teachers. He encouraged them to embrace imperfection and keep trying. He also stressed the value of targeted listening. If you want to let's talk in British English, then immerse yourself in British content. The more specific you are, the faster you will adapt to the accent and slang. Leo's story became an inspiration, a testament to the power of dedicated effort and strategic learning. He proved that fluency wasn't reserved for those with innate talent, but was achievable through a systematic approach. He realized that the best way to learn English wasn't a single magical trick, but a harmonious blend of several interconnected practices. It was about creating an environment of continuous linguistic immersion. It involved daily listening, deliberate practice, fearless speaking, and diligent reading. Each component reinforced the others, building a robust foundation for true mastery and effortless communication. This holistic approach was key. His initial struggles now seemed like distant memories, valuable lessons learned on a challenging but rewarding path. He remembered the frustration, the shyness, and the moments of doubt, all of which had ultimately strengthened his resolve. Leo now confidently led discussions, presented ideas, and even mentored others in their English learning journeys. His confidence extended beyond language, impacting his professional and personal life in profoundly positive ways. He frequently revisited the why you must listen philosophy, recognizing it as the foundational step that had opened up the entire world of English for him. It was the initial spark that ignited his passion. The disciplined routine of listen and practice had honed his auditory skills and prepared his mouth for natural articulation. It was the bridge between passive understanding and active production of language. His deliberate choice to let's talk in British English had given him a clear goal and a specific accent to aim for, making his learning more focused and enjoyable. It added a layer of personal connection. Understanding how to talk in English truly meant finding his own voice, not just mimicking others. It was about expressing his unique thoughts and personality through the English language, authentically and confidently. Why reading is important became self-evident as he delved deeper into complex texts, expanding his vocabulary and refining his grammar in ways that listening alone couldn't achieve. It provided structural insights. He often reflected on his journey, realizing that persistence was the ultimate ingredient. There were days when progress felt slow, but he never gave up, maintaining his daily routines without fail. His success wasn't accidental. It was the direct result of consistent effort and an intelligent application of effective learning strategies. He was living proof that dedication pays off handsomely. Leo's experience became a powerful narrative, inspiring many who felt stuck in their own English learning struggles. He proved that anyone could achieve fluency with the right mindset and tools. He started a small blog, sharing his insights and offering practical tips based on his own journey. He wanted to demystify the process and encourage others to embark on their own linguistic adventures. His most frequently asked question remained, "What is the best way to learn English?" And his answer always revolved around the integrated approach he had personally adopted and perfected. "It's about total immersion," he'd explain. "Surround yourself with English. Listen constantly. Speak fearlessly, read widely, and don't be afraid to make mistakes." This became his mantra. He even created short video tutorials, demonstrating how he performed his listen and practice routines, showing specific shadowing techniques and pronunciation drills for beginners. His passion for English continued to grow, fueled by every new conversation and every deeper understanding of the language's nuances. English had truly become a part of him now. He found immense joy in helping others overcome their anxieties, watching their confidence blossom just as his once had. It was a rewarding cycle of learning and giving back to the community. From a timid beginner, Leo had transformed into a confident communicator, a bridge builder between cultures. His dream had not only materialized, but had expanded beyond his wildest expectations. He continued to advocate for active listening as the cornerstone. You wouldn't expect to play an instrument without hearing it first, would you? Language is no different, he'd often say. His belief in why you must listen deepened with every passing day, seeing its direct impact on fluency and accent acquisition in himself and in those he guided. It was fundamental. He still dedicated time to listen and practice, not just for improvement, but now for maintenance and for the sheer joy of engaging with the language on a deeper level. The goal of "let's talk in British English" had been achieved, and now he could easily switch between various English accents, thanks to his foundational listening skills. He had truly mastered how to talk in English, expressing himself authentically and persuasively in any situation, from casual chats to formal presentations, without hesitation. Why reading is important was ingrained in his daily routine, expanding his intellectual horizons and solidifying his grasp of sophisticated English usage. It was indispensable. Leo's journey proved that the best way to learn English is not a singular method, but a harmonious symphony of consistent effort, diverse input, and fearless output, tailored to individual goals. His story serves as a powerful reminder that dedication, combined with smart strategies like focused listening and consistent practice, can unlock incredible linguistic potential for anyone willing to embark on the journey.